This is the complex Ragland sweater knit along. This is our super simple pattern. Step 1. Knit 2 tension swatches. I use 3x1 ribbing and a tuck pattern. Wash, dry, and measure the swatches. Step 3. Find a raglan pattern. If you choose DAC 9 or the sweater generator, all the hard math is done for you. Step 4. Print out the instructions or the knit leader pattern for both swatches. Step 5. Choose which pattern to start with. I used the 3x1 ribbing for the front and back and tuck for the sleeves. 3x1 can be done manually with a latch tool, with a ribber, or with a garter carriage. Let's begin knitting the back. 74 left, 74 right. Knit over 200 rows, then reduce for the armholes. Both front and back match at this point. I start with waste yarn, and then I move to my working yarn with the E-wrap cast on. I turn on my knitting machine, and then I set up for the E-wrap cast on using my garter carriage. Okay, I am not going to press card feed yet. I need to do an E-wrap cast on. So here we go. I want to keep these videos under 20 minutes, so I sped up a lot of the unnecessary footage. If you were just using your ribber, you would just set up your circular cast on and start knitting. Okay, we're going to do the E-wrap cast on. I always say a prayer at this point because you never know if the garter carriage is going to work or not. If you pause right here, you can see the settings for the circular cast on for the KG88II. Okay. Now we're going to set up for row 1 of the pattern. Okay, so we've turned on our knit leader. We're setting our row counter to 000. Garter carriage is set to go. Switching it out of circular, telling it its direction. All good. Kind of worried about it, but let's see what happens. Oh, I need to put in my edge markers. 1 second. Okay. Found them. Green one. Green one. We will also be placing our counters or edge savers, I guess. One there. One there. And press go. Here we go again. Again, I sped this up for time. It takes an entire day to knit just 200 rows using a garter carriage. Okay, I have 224 rows before we do anything special, so just like always, I'm going to turn off the video until that is all done. I state again that the front and back are identical up to the armhole decreases. Okay, that moment I have been waiting for a long time. I can now decrease 7 on the first row of the arm decrease. I'm going to move my garter carriage out of my way, carefully. And I'm going to use my transfer tool to make the reduction. I'm doing a gate peg bind off because I find it a lot more secure. I'm now going to knit one row to the left, and we'll see what happens. Sped up for time. Once you have cleared the gate peg bind off area, you can lift it up and take it off the gate pegs. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I decrease 7 on the left side as well. So I'm going to remove my yarn from the garter carriage. I'm putting the first stitch, knitting through. This is gate peg. I'm going behind the gate peg onto the next stitch, pulling it through, knitting it through, onto the next stitch, behind the gate peg, pulling it through, knitting it through. I've gone from 74 left and 74 right to 67 left and 67 right. Every time my garter carriage gets to the right hand side of the bed, I'll be doing a reduction. In the case of this last stitch, I just put it onto the next stitch, which is 67. Move my edge marker. Return my yarn to the garter carriage. Safely lock it in. And press go for one row. Good luck. The way this pattern worked out, every time I was on the right hand side of the knitting machine, is when I had to reduce both sides. Just like the last one, let it clear. Take it off. That's it. Now I'm going to do every time I get the string. When I got to row 328, I removed the back piece onto waste yarn, and then I secured the waste yarn. The next video we will knit the front of the sweater, and you will follow the exact same instructions as for the back up to the armhole decrease. You will do a few of the decreases, and then we will do something different.